Hi, Will from Sound on Sound here at the NAMM Show 2018 with Tom from Universal Audio. Now Tom,
hello.
You've got a new audio interface, haven't you?
We do, yes. It's Arrow, which is our Thunderbolt 3 bus-powered audio interface. It's actually the world's first desktop bus-powered Thunderbolt 3 interface. So it's based on the Apollo platform, which I know you know well.
Intimately.
Yeah, well, there you go. So yeah, 2 unison mic preamps, which means you can get classic vocal sounds or instrument sounds, you know, guitar amplifiers, tube mic preamps, everything you need to make a record right out of the box, bus-powered on the go, or in this case, designed for like a clutter-free desktop for people like musicians, beat makers, songwriters, or professionals that just want an edit station that can get access to UAD plugins and the Unison technology in a smaller, sort of more compact format, really.
So quickly, for people who maybe don't know about the Unison technology, can you just run us down, what is that?
So Unison is it's sort of like a mic preamp modeling technology, but it works in tandem with the analog and the digital domain. So what it allows you to do is effectively take the sound of your interface, which in the case of Arrow or the Apollo, is a very open and transparent mic preamp, and actually turn it into a variety of different classic pieces of gear. So included with Arrow, you get the 610B, which is a tube console from 1958 designed by Bill Putnam Sr., the founder of Universal Audio. So you can effectively turn all the headroom and the harmonics and the richness and all the vibe and feel of the preamp into an actual tube 1958 console and record through that.
Right, so talking about the unit itself then, can you tell us about what functions we have on it then?
Okay, yes, so on the preamp side, you have 2 mic XLR inputs with combi jacks, so they're mic or line. So you have the preamp input conditioning row, which allows you to select mic or line, or apply things like pads, phantom power, low cut or high pass filters.
Okay.
You can polarity reverse, so if you want to, you know, do like 2 mics which are out of phase, you can correct for that while you're recording. There's also a really nifty feature which is taken from our Apollo sort of twin and Apollo rack range, which is the link mode. Okay. So if you hit the link button, you actually will link the 2 mic preamp gains. So you have one knob to control this, but you'll have match levels. So it makes stereo recording. One knob to rule them all. One knob to rule them all. And it makes stereo recording a breeze, right? You just plug in a stereo mic, record acoustic guitar or piano, and for the musician, they just don't have to think about engineering things like matching gains and stereo image drift. You just get it done.
Perfect. And on the software side then?
Okay, so on the software side, you still get access to the full UA console experience, so console 2.0. And actually Arrow will aggregate with our existing range of DSP and interfaces. So although it won't provide sort of remote control modes like the twin desktop, for example, you can actually use it to get an extra core of DSP processing and an extra 2 in and 4 out. So it comes with a UAD2 solo chip on board, so you can process in low latency, you know, plugins on the move and that kind of thing.
And in terms of powering it then, if you've got a Thunderbolt 2 machine but you don't have Thunderbolt 3, how does that work?
It does not work in that sense. So Thunderbolt 3 provides higher wattage and will draw, well, you can draw more on Thunderbolt 3, so that's why we're able to do Arrow bus powered. If you have a Thunderbolt 2 machine, then you really look at the Apollo Twin still.
Right, okay.
So if you have like a newer Mac, so for example the new iMac or the iMac Pro, the MacBook Pro, where you have true Thunderbolt 3 ports, and you need to check that you see the little lightning symbol, which you'll see on the cables and also on hopefully on the connector on the side of the computer, then that will give you the power to run this. So it could be a Mac, or in this case Windows 10 machine. We're running it with these Razer Blade laptops, and they're native Thunderbolt 3. So included with Arrow you have 14 plugins, which is what we call the Real-Time Analog Classics bundle. And so with this you could check out the Unison preamps, for example. So you'll see here you have a green encoder ring around the mic pre gain knob, which you'll also see on the physical unit on Arrow. If we then load up here in this slot the UA610B, we now have the sound of a 1958 tube console, so you can get all of that vibe and feeling as a musician without really having to think too much as an engineer. It just comes up with a great sound. And you'll see the ring on the encoder goes orange, which means you're in unison mode, and that means your microphone's going to react to the input of Arrow and give you that full experience. So from here you can adjust the gain on this, and you can actually push the saturation and get more kind of harmonics and a richness, which is sort of beyond the interface sound. And then from there, if you're a guitar player, instead of loading up the 610B preamp, you would load in the guitar and bass section something like the included Marshall Plexi Classic, which now, coming with Arrow and Apollo interfaces, gives you the sound of a Marshall vintage guitar amplifier with Unison technology. So plugging into the high Z input will give you loading effects and all of the feel of a real guitar amp straight there in Arrow. So you just get your song ideas down really quickly. On top of this, you'll have reverbs and compressors, channel strips, things like the LA2A, the Pultec, and the 1176 legacy plugins we do. So you can just get cracking really from the off. So that's pretty much it. For more information, please visit uaudio.com.
Okay, and what's the price point then?
It's $499 US dollars, and for us Brits, that's 449 GBP as a street price. So it's the most affordable way into the UA platform.
Awesome, and shipping when?
Now, well, shipping on the 16th of January, so already out there for a week.
Splendid.
So, yeah, go buy one.
All right, thanks very much, Tom.
Thanks so much. Cheers, Will.